Welcome to Peiwen's Note. Today we have the world famous violinist and conductor, and he is Augustin Dumay. Hello.
It's a big pleasure to be with you for this dialogue, this sort of psychanalysis.
Welcome back to Taipei. And on Wednesday evening, I heard you perform very beautiful with two violin concerto, and your music truly touched my heart. And can you tell us about the performance you did?
It was a pleasure for me to come back to Taiwan. I was in Taiwan 3 or 4 times, and it was the first time I played with this orchestra. It was with my very old friend, still very young, but very old friend, Eliao Inbal. I met him when I was 12 in Paris Conservatory. And we played a lot of concerts around the world, and we have a very fantastic rapport in music, and we work to play together. It's so important, especially in this kind of piece like Berg violin concert, which is so difficult for orchestra. It's a sort of symphony with violin, and it's really important to have a conductor like that.
And then Ravel piece is like, wow, you had like the best technique of the world, and between you and the harp, you guys work so well.
It's a fantastic, imaginative piece like Ravel was able to. And I played the last version because when I was very young, I recorded this piece with the conductor Manuel Rosenthal. Wow. Who was the boss of the Met in New York, and he was the first conductor he was conducting the premiere of Ravel.
Wow.
When he was very young, and when I recorded with him, he was something like 90, and he showed me the score, the Ravel score, with a lot of indication.
Wow.
New indication. It's the last version, and it's very sad because on the normal edition they don't have this last advice of Maurice Ravel, and Maurice Ravel wrote a lot of things on the score during the rehearsal. And I called the boss of the edition, Durand edition. I told you are selling something with not the truth. And he told me, I don't care because the sales are very good.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So they're going to change it back. And mention your concert, I will have to talk about your beautiful violin Guarneri. Would you tell audience about?
Yes, I am very, very lucky because it's one of the very special violin, I can tell. Even in the production of Guarnerius del Jésus, it's one violin he built during the last 2 years of his life, and this violin was Leonid Kogan violin. Leonid Kogan plays his violin during 19 years.
Amazing.
But during 10 years he was not able to tell he was playing this violin because the Soviet government gave him a violin, and he was very afraid to tell, I don't play your violin, I play another one. And it was this one. And after it was official, he was able to tell, I love this violin, I play it. And I met the violin in London 15 years ago in a Charles Beale office with a fantastic violin maker, and it was immediately a big love, big love.
I understand you begin to study violin at age of 5, and by 10 years old you already entered the Paris Conservatoire. And what was it like growing up as a child prodigy?
I don't have a fantastic souvenir of Paris Conservatory, because I was not there a long time. I was there, in this time it was possible to have a first prize after 1 or 2 years of school. And really my music formation was after Paris Conservatory. It was when I met Arthur Grumiaux, when I met Nathan Milstein, and during years I was working with them, and this was really very important moment in my life. For example, Milstein and Grumiaux were very close friends, and it was not a problem for me to work with both, with different view of music. It was, and for example, I played with Arthur Grumiaux because he was also a fantastic pianist. Nobody knows that. But I played with him the complete Beethoven sonatas, for example. And Grumiaux was able to play I was listening him in Concertgebouw in Amsterdam with orchestra. First half he played the first Beethoven concert, and second half the violin concert. This is fabulous. Yes, amazing. Unbelievable. And this year it was really really important in my life. Yes, for my formation as musician. Yes.
And in 1979, Van Karajan have invited you to perform with Berlin Philharmonic. And how did this happen? And what was it like to perform with the legend?
An unbelievable story, because I was recording a Brahms sonata long time ago, and in a hall in Paris. And it was a fantastic hall for acoustic, and a lot of musicians record there. And one day, Karajan was there not to record, but to listen and record he already recorded, to do the post-production. And I didn't know he was there. And I was in the cabin, you know, the place we are going to listen after the text we just record. And I opened the door and I saw Karajan was there to listen me since half an hour. I was very young, and I told him, "Oh my God, God is there." He laughed a lot. He loves that. And
what an interesting story.
And he invited me immediately because he was in Paris for a special day organized by Radio France, and invited me to play 2 weeks after, immediately, and invite me in Berlin to play with Berlin Philharmonic. It was the beginning of my really professional life, yes.
And from that point you made several famous concerto with the EMI records.
Yes, exactly. It was the beginning of my, something different in my life, yes, true.
That's amazing.
So important. And it's him who told me one day, I remember I was with him in south of France, and he told me, "Augustin, you are a violinist, I love your playing, but I am sure one day you will conduct also. You will conduct because you have a global view of music, and I think somebody like you will conduct."
He's right.
Yes. And
you didn't even know.
He was so generous because he told to his assistant who was living in Paris, "You have to give to this young boy some time with he was the boss of a young orchestra in Paris, and each week during a long time I was going and to conduct for rehearsal this orchestra. It was my debut as conductor, yes. It was him.
We're very lucky now to only hear you play solo violin and hear you conduct with all the wonderful musicians. And you have made more than 40 recordings all over the world, and many of these have won prestigious awards. And one of your best work is the Beethoven Complete Sonata with Maria Joao Pires. And what was it like to perform with her? And you want to tell?
I met Maria Jouan in a festival in France, and immediately after one movement of rehearsal Beethoven sonata, it was sure for both of us we will continue to play. It was immediately sure, because you know sometimes we need to work a lot, long time, and to know if it's possible, if we have the same view about music.
Sometimes it takes a long time.
With a lot of artists. And it can work also. But with Maria Jouan, it was immediately sure we have to play together. And it's like that. So it was the beginning of this collaboration, who exists since long time now, but we played in a Philharmonie last year together, and we will have some concert and recording in the future also.
Wow, not only you do duet, and you also perform trios, right?
Yes,
lots of chamber music.
With my big friend Jan Wang.
That's right.
Jan Wang.
My classmate.
It's Isaac Stern who
discovered
Jan, yes, when he was in China for this movie from Mao to
Mozart, right?
Mozart.
Oh,
yes.
What a wonderful film.
And Jan Wang was, I think, 8 or 9 years old. Yes, yes. And immediately, and it's Isaac Stern who organized. Jan can go to America to be in New York, and it was really. And we will be in China in June together.
Oh,
we will be in China to play a very special piece for cellist. But you are yourself a cellist, you know that. It's a Sinfonia Concertante Mozart in a transcription of Yo-Yo Ma.
Wow.
And first time I played this version, it was with Yo-Yo for a TV show in Paris.
Could this maybe a premiere, in Asia?
Yes, exactly.
I think.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll fly
in
over
Shanghai,
there.
In Beijing.
June.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So besides the complete Beethoven sonata, and your recording of the Mozart violin concertos is also phenomenal, and it was considered one of the best in the history. You want to tell us about this?
It was with an orchestra I love. It's Camerata Academica Salzburg, with a fantastic Mozartian orchestra. Who was Sandor Weg orchestra. You know, Sandor Weg was a fantastic quartetist and also conductor, and he was the orchestra father. It was he built this orchestra. It's unbelievable orchestra from Mozart.
And besides you're such a successful conductor, violinist, since 2004 you became the professor of the Queen Elizabeth Music Chapel in Brussels. And could you tell us about this?
Yes, for me it's really important to work with young people. It's something, I think it's a pleasure, but also a duty to try to bring them what you learned in the past also. It's really something, the transmission for me, it's a very important point. And Queen Elizabeth Chapel, I am very, very lucky because I have there now 11 young violinists.
Wow.
Who already have a lot of prize in international competition, and it's just a sign of a level, because competition, what Claude Debussy told about competition. He told competition, oh yes, it's fantastic for horses. but I am very happy to teach in this place. Queen Elizabeth Chapel, it's a school very high-level school, but also organize a lot of concerts because they organize something like 300 concerts each year. They have a lot of festival, and it's a possibility to play with young people, because to teach it's really important, but also to be on stage with young musicians. I think it's also one of the best way for transmission.
You can.
And I played chamber music with them. I played double concert. We are doing a lot of music together,
amazing.
And I think it's also important to have this fantastic possibility to be on stage with young musicians.
I think these young talents are very fortunate to have you as
it's a pleasure for me also. It's maybe they are lucky, but I am lucky also to work with the new generation.
So after performing concerto in Taiwan, and what's your agenda like?
Now I am leaving to Japan, because I am music director of Kansai Philharmonic Orchestra in Osaka with the symphonic orchestra. We just went in tour in Europa. 2 weeks ago, and I am the music director of this orchestra since now 11 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's another part of my life, but really important. I am in Japan at least 9 weeks each year. And I know Japan is very long time, because I made my first tour in Japan with Seiji Ozawa.
Oh yes.
Yes, and
it's wonderful.
It's yes, he bring me to Japan.
And after he retired, he's moving back. He's back in Japan now. Wow. I am just very curious. Growing up, who's your biggest music hero? Do you have one? The biggest inspiration?
I have a lot. But for example, for Carlos Kleiber, for the Conductor, is somebody unbelievable, with fantastic imagination, double culture, South America and German, and it's an unbelievable mixed, and in the old generation, people like, for example, Murray Peraya, Radu Lupu, Maria João Pires, and but in the new generation, we have now some fantastic musicians also. I am thinking about Trifonov.
Oh, he's one of my favorite pianists.
I am thinking about violinists like Julia Fischer or Janine Jensen. We have a lot of young ladies playing violin, fantastic level, also with great culture and music inspiration. And yes, in this generation we have some really interesting musicians, and we can be very confident for the transmission of music in the future. This is really important, if the audience follow.
Yes. Is it fair to ask, like, do you find a difference of audience between Europe and Asia, or among the different countries? Is there any?
It's difficult to no. I think in all culture you have people able to understand a lot of different music. For me, it's not possible to tell. In Germany, you have a different audience. Or now you know we have the globalization, and the globalization have some not so good aspect, but also some very good aspect, because you have a lot of different countries who have fantastic access to culture. And if I have to answer to your question 30 years ago, maybe my answer can be different, but now it's not the same situation.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a good advice for the young musician out there who like to make music as a profession,
Yes, I can't tell. To try to forget piano, violin, cello, and instrument in the material way, and to always think about what they want to tell with music, because music is life expression. It's not a sport. It's not even if I have a lot of respect for a sport player and it's so difficult to play very high level piano, violin, etc. But never forget what they have so individual to bring us. That is the most important point for me. That is this point where I'm making somebody is really an artist, not just a performer, a player, high-level player. Artist, somebody with imagination.
Oh, that is very deep. That is so beautiful and well said. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Making time.
You are a very good psychanalyst.
You're just so kind. And I hope you come back soon so Taiwan audience love you so much.
With a big pleasure. I think I will come back.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.